What's up everyone, this is Ace10 Plays, and welcome to Among Us. This video is part of a series in which we take a tour of one of the maps in Among Us, showing how to complete all crewmate tasks, what sabotages are available for impostors, and how crewmates can counteract them. If you have a copy of the game, you can practice these tasks and sabotages yourself by going to free play. In this video, we'll be diving into the Skeld map. Let's jump right in. Alright everyone, welcome to the Skeld, a spaceship flying through outer space. First of all, let's take a look at the map. If you're playing on PC, you can look at the map by clicking the map icon in the top right. You can also press the tab key on your keyboard. If you're playing on iOS or Android devices, the controls might be a little bit different for you. But let's go ahead and open up the map. And as you can see, we're starting in a rather large room called the cafeteria. So let's head to the left and make our way counterclockwise around the ship. And I'll go through each and every room and let you know what it is. So as I said before, we're starting in the cafeteria. Let's head to the left from here. And the first room we come into is the med bay. All right, let's continue to the left. The next room we come into is the upper engine. Now moving further down, we have two rooms here. To the left is reactor. And to the right is security. Okay, continuing our way down, the next room we come into is lower engine. All right, let's head to the right. And our next room here is called electrical. Moving further to the right is a rather large room called storage. All right, you can see there's actually multiple ways in and out of this room. Let's head up first. If we continue all the way up from this hallway, we'll find ourselves in the cafeteria once again. But let's head to the right instead. This room is called admin. Okay, so let's head back into storage and then go to the right and continue our way around counterclockwise. The first room we come into is called communications. Okay, continuing to the right, our next room is shields. So now we're in the bottom right of the ship. Let's head up through a rather long hallway. Now we're at the very front of the ship in navigation. Okay, heading further up, the next room is O2 or oxygen. And finally, our last room is weapons. Okay, if we head to the left, we will find ourselves in cafeteria once again. Okay, so now we'll go around the ship again, except now we'll be doing tasks in each room. Alright, so for our first tasks, we'll be doing tasks in cafeteria and medbay. If you're using free play, you can walk up to the laptop and click on customize in the bottom right. You can also press the spacebar, and that will open up a list of tasks that you can assign yourself to practice. So for cafeteria, we'll be assigning ourselves both tasks in cafeteria and medbay. As you can see, your list of tasks is in the top left, and that's how that will be when you're playing the actual game. When you open up the map, your map will show you where your tasks are located by showing you yellow circles with exclamation points. And you can also move around as the map is on the screen so that you can help get your bearings. When you get close to a task, it will highlight in yellow. You can click on use on the bottom right as well as hit the spacebar. This one is empty garbage. So all you have to do is pull and hold the handle and let go once all the trash is out. Here is download data. This is a simple click of the download button, and anyone who has experienced a dial-up connection will be very familiar with the estimated time remaining and how wildly unpredictable it could be. Okay, so each of these are two-part tasks. They will require you to go to a different part of the spaceship in order to complete them. You can see those two yellow arrows on the bottom of the screen showing you where you need to go in order to complete those tasks. And you can also open up the map and see the pulsing yellow circles. So one of these will require us to go to admin, so let's go ahead and do that. Admin can be easily accessed by going down from the cafeteria and heading to the right. This is the second half of our upload data task. All you have to do is simply click the upload button and wait for the progress bar. All right. And the second half of our other cafeteria task is empty garbage. Now this one is called a visual task. It's called that because other players and you can visually see it happening. Impostors cannot do tasks, and so if you see a crewmate next to this device completing this task, you will know they are a real crewmate when you see the visual task occur. Sometimes in some lobbies, visual tasks will be turned off, so you cannot always rely on this. So make sure you know the rules of the room or the lobby that you are playing in. So as we pull this handle, you will notice the trash leaving from the bottom of the ship. And there it goes. If you happen to see that visual, then you will know the person completing the task is a crewmate and not an imposter. Alright, so let's head north out of storage through the hallway and back into cafeteria, because the next area we're going to be going is medbay, and that is just to the left of cafeteria. So let's head into medbay. Like empty garbage, submit scan is also a visual task. When you stand on this and click use, you will see an animation, and other players near you will also see this animation. And as a reminder, if visual tasks are turned off, you will not see this, so make sure you know the rules of the lobby that you're playing in. Our last task for medbay is inspect sample. This one is very simple, but it requires a bit of waiting. So as soon as we click that button, these test tubes will be filled up, and the bottom says go grab a coffee, and we can see a countdown in the top of the screen. You will also see the countdown in your task list. So you are free to leave that task, go accomplish some other ones. If you had these tasks all together, you could perhaps do your cafeteria tasks, go empty the trash down here, and by the time you were finished, your inspect sample task would be complete. So you do not have to wait for, in medbay for the inspect sample task to complete. All you have to do is start the task and come back to it after the time period. Okay, now that 60 seconds has elapsed, let's go back into the inspect sample task. This asks us to select the anomaly. All you have to do is click the button underneath the red test tube, and your task is finished. Okay, next, let's head into engines and reactor. Engines and reactor are both on the left side of the map. And our first two tasks in reactor are start reactor and unlock manifolds. Here is start reactor. You'll sometimes hear people refer to this as Simon Says, because you'll have to click the buttons in the exact sequence that is shown to you on the right. Okay, heading up. All we have to do is click the numbers in sequence. Okay, and our reactor tasks are finished. Now for engine, we have to align the engine output. This could start an upper engine or lower engine, and this is a two-part task. So all you have to do is simply drag the slider down to align horizontally. And we'll have to do the same thing in the lower engine. Okay, the next two tasks for engines actually start in electrical. These are both divert power to lower engine and divert power to upper engine. So here, you just have to simply move the highlighted slider all the way up. And if you happen to have this task again, you just have to move whichever slider is highlighted all the way up. And this, again, is a two-part task, just like align engine output. After you have diverted power, you need to go to the appropriate panel in the room and simply click the thing in the middle. So let's head up to upper engine and do the same thing. And then we'll be finished with our tasks. Alright, our next set of tasks are going to involve electrical and security. Let's open up the map real quick, and we can see that actually all the tasks start in electrical. So let's head down to electrical. The quickest way is straight down from the cafeteria into storage, and then left into electrical. All the tasks are on this back wall. These will look very familiar. That's divert power to security. And once again, that is a two-part task. We'll have to head to security to complete that. Another electrical task is download data. This is very similar to the one we did in cafeteria. And as with the cafeteria task, you'll need to go to a second spot in order to complete that one. The third task is fix wiring. This one involves clicking and dragging the wires from the left to the right, matching the colors and the symbols. This one is a three-part task, so you'll need to head to another part of the spaceship in order to complete the wiring task. The last task in electrical is calibrate distributor. This one involves clicking the buttons exactly when the objects on the right align with the rightmost side of the circle. That one's a little tricky. If you happen to miss one, you'll have to complete it from the beginning. Okay, so let's take care of our final tasks here. In security, we'll need to accept the diverted power. So let's head into security. Okay, simply just click the thing in the middle. Next, we'll have to go to admin to upload data. This is the exact same place where we uploaded data when we did it in cafeteria. Okay, next on our wiring task, we'll have to fix wiring in storage. Okay, and finally for the last piece of the wiring task, we'll have to head back to security. Alright, and sometimes the wires line up just perfectly. Okay, the next areas we're going to be going to are storage, admin, and communications. So let's head straight down from cafeteria into storage. Our task here is fuel engines. There will be a red gas canister right here. Once you open that, click and hold the button on the bottom right to fill up the gas tank. You'll need to go to two separate areas in engines, the upper engine and lower engine. Once you're here, click and hold the button on the bottom right. That completes the first half of this task. For the second half, you'll head back into storage, back to that same red gas tank. And finally, we'll head into lower engine. And we're finished. Our next task is in admin, and it is swipe card. Here's where you can do swipe card. Just click the card in the wallet, and not too fast, but not too slow, swipe it from left to right. And if you're a little too slow or too fast, it will let you know. This might take a couple of tries. Okay, next we can head into communications for another download data task. This is exactly the same as the ones in cafeteria and in that other place we did, electrical. Okay, and it requires you to go to admin to upload the data. I will not show that off because we've already done it twice. And last, we will have to head to electrical in order to direct power to communications. You'll need to move the appropriate slider, and then go back to communications. And we're done. I should note that all upload and download data panels do look like this with a Wi-Fi symbol on them, and all divert power panels look like this as well. Okay, from here, let's head into Shields. Shields has 2 tasks. The first one is Prime Shields, which is available right here. This task, like clear garbage and submit scan in medbay, is a visual task. If you'll notice, these lights on the bottom right of the spaceship are turned off. When you use Prime Shields, click all of the red hexagons to turn them white. After you've completed that, you will notice the lights on the bottom right are now on. When you see a crewmate complete this task and the lights turn on, you will know that they are an actual crewmate. Also, some lobbies might have visual tasks turned off, so make sure that you're aware of the rules of the lobby that you're playing in. The other task in Shields is accept diverted power, and here's the panel in which you can do that. From here, let's go to Navigation. Navigation has a couple of tasks here. The first one is Stabilize Steering. You can click and drag the crosshairs down to the center, or you can actually just tap or click the center to complete this task. Next is Chart Course, which is available here. Here you'll have to click and drag the Skeld from point to point on the map. Other tasks you might encounter in Navigation are Accept Diverted Power, which you'll have to start in Electrical and complete here at this panel to the left, as well as Upload Data, which is available on this panel to the right. Finally, we will head into Weapons. This is another visual task, where you'll have to click asteroids as they fly past. And notice these red-looking guns on the right side of the spaceship. As you click to destroy asteroids, you will notice that something flies out of them, assumedly to destroy these asteroids. This is yet another visual task that you can use to watch to see if crewmates are actually crewmates or if they are faking as imposters. Our last 2 tasks are in O2 or oxygen. First is Clean O2 Filter. Those leaves just happen to go in there by themselves, but normally you'll have to click and drag the leaves towards the left side in order to clean the O2 filter. And that's a 1-part task, and we're done. The final task is to empty chute. This one is just like the one in Cafeteria. After you pull and hold in one location, head down to Storage. That task in Storage is located at the very bottom right of the room. And this is another visual task in which you will see the garbage fly out of the chute. Okay, so that completes all of the tasks that you can do in the Skeld. Now let's be an imposter. So if you head to the laptop in the Cafeteria, click on the red beimpostor.exe file. This will make you an imposter. And as an imposter, you can use sabotages. When you click sabotage, the sabotage map will appear, and you have a couple of different options here. One, you can close doors to prevent people from moving around the spaceship, or to slow people down, or to isolate yourself with another crewmate so that you can perform a murder. After some time, the doors do open by themselves. Another sabotage you can perform is lights. You can do this by clicking the lightning bolt in electrical. When you do this, the lights will be powered down and must be repaired by a crewmate or by an imposter. Let's go ahead and turn off the imposter. And as you can see, visibility is very much reduced. This can help imposters kill when they are near other crewmates because crewmates have limited visibility. However, lights are not affected by cameras. And I'll show off cameras real quick by going into security. This device all the way at the top are cameras. And when someone is on cameras, you'll notice the red light on the camera flash on and off. Cameras are not affected by lights. However, no emergency meetings can be called while lights are off or while other crises are occurring. So if we head to the emergency button and try to use it, we will notice that we cannot call emergency meetings during crises. So to fix lights, you'll have to head into electrical. And use this large panel right inside of the room. Flip every switch where the green light is not illuminated, so that they are illuminated. And once all 5 lights are flipped, lights will return to normal. Also, if multiple people are on that panel and flipping switches on and off, it might be a little difficult to get all 5 flipped on. Another sabotage that the imposter can perform is reactor. When reactor is sabotaged, 2 players must go to reactor in order to reset it. Otherwise, when 30 seconds has counted down, everyone will die as the reactor melts down. So, 1 player must head to the panel on the bottom of the room, another player must head to the top panel of the room, and both must open and hold the red hand icon. Of course, since this is practice, there is no second player to help stop the reactor from melting down. So yes, normally the imposter would have just won. But when 1 player is at the top panel and the other player is at the bottom panel, and both use it and hold down that red hand, it will reset. Another sabotage that the imposter can perform is O2. This is similar to reactor, in which 2 players will have to go to one of 2 panels on the spaceship and enter a 5-digit code. Once one code is entered on one panel, another code will have to be entered onto the other panel. It is possible for the same player to do both panels, yet it is very, very difficult unless they are close to one of them to begin with. And the final sabotage that the imposter can perform on the Skeld map is communications. When communications is sabotaged, then no one will be able to see the tasks that they have to perform, and the total task bar will not operate correctly. So let's go ahead and turn off our imposter, and we will notice that we cannot view our tasks. In fact, the only task we see is comms sabotaged. So in order to fix this, we will have to head into communications. Head to the very bottom of the room. Adjust the dial so that the waveform on the right appears like the waveform on the left. Once it's close enough, you'll notice the light change from red to green, and comms is fixed. Also of note is when comms are sabotaged, cameras will not operate. One final tool in players' disposal is in the admin room. By using admin, you can see crew members' positioning. You'll not be able to note the identity of the crewmate, but as crewmates move around the ship, you will notice their icons disappearing from one room and reappearing in another. This does not note where crewmates are located if they're in hallways, and if a crewmate is dead, you will see their icon flash. Both crewmates and imposters can use this information to their advantage. Alright, and that will do it for the Skeld. If you're a crewmate, happy task completing, and if you're an imposter, happy murdering. Take care.